Alright, so welcome back guys, and welcome to your first time here. I'm Vision here at Boy Entertainment, bringing you guys another video. Today I'm going to be giving you guys my review for the 100 Season 7 Episode 2, The Garden. Now if the 100 is something you're interested in, don't forget to hit the subscribe button down below and hit that bell icon. That would miss more 100 rated content from me moving forward. Now let's begin. Now, in this episode we got two different storylines going on at the same time that are running congruent with each other. You got the Octavia, diyoza, and Hope story in the past, and then you got the current one regarding Echo, Gabriel, and Hope in the future. Now I'm first going to start off with the one in the past with Octavia, diyoza, and Hope. So from there, the episode starts with Octavia arriving on a different planet, and she arrives there in time to help diyoza deliver her baby. Now it's revealed that Octavia arrived on this planet 3 months after diyoza did, explaining the time difference and everything there. And I like this episode. I found it pretty interesting. You got these three characters. Mainly it's just Octavia and diyoza, since Hope's kind of little, so she doesn't like big in the story, but still played a big role as for Octavia. But we actually follow these three characters in the 10 years that Octavia was stuck on that planet, as it was revealed in the episode that they were there for 10 years. And I really liked it. It was very interesting. You got to see these three characters grow and it become like a family unit. It was very sweet, and I really did enjoy it. It gave us some good character development for both Octavia and diyoza. Diyoza and Octavia was a great pairing last season that I really liked. So seeing these three characters just grow and bond together, and I really like the little things that were added in. It's just like, Octavia learning the things she learned from Earth skills and the Ark was nice. And then you got to see how they went about raising Hope and not raising her to learn how to fight, because they didn't want her to end up like them. So I really like that. However, over the course of the episode, it's revealed that Octavia wants to leave. She doesn't want to stay here, and she wants to go back to Sanctum and warn them about the primes, because this is taking place at the same time, but she doesn't realize that it's at the same time. So she thinks that they're still fighting the primes as they are in that timeline. It's just she's just been there for more time than in Sanctum, so she really wants to do that. And she ends up digging up a helmet from one of the characters we saw at the end of the last episode. Her and Hope end up finding it while they're preparing the garden, and Octavia sees this as her opportunity to get off the planet, as she's been trying to find a way off the planet for the past few years, or if not months, I forget what it was. But she sees this as her ticket to finally get off the planet, and diyoza tries to talk her out of it, but she just is so adamant about getting off the planet that she doesn't really listen to diyoza. So she just decides she's gonna head off on her own, and then try to and possibly get back to diyoza after the fact and rescue her and Hope. And you get her saying a goodbye to Hope, which is a very sad but also a very good goodbye. And she goes out to leave. However, it's revealed that diyoza destroyed the helmet off the suit she had found, so she has no way of leaving. And the two of them get into a scuffle, and it's finally revealed why Octavia wants to leave so badly, as through her time on the planet, which is named Skyrim by Hope, that she finally realized what Bellamy had meant in the middle of last season when he had sent her off to be on her own, which I really liked how they did that. It was such a nice little moment there where she finally has that revelation of why she wants to stay there or get back so much. And you got diyoza saying, why can't you stay here? We're like your family, aren't we enough? And I really like that. And eventually they decide, Octavia stops, and they decide to stay together there. And Octavia ends up writing a letter to Bellamy explaining everything and pretty much giving him a goodbye letter, and drops it off in the river or ocean that is on the shore of their little cabin that they've been staying in throughout the episode. And then you just get more scenes over time as they continue to form a bond and everything, and they just continue to grow as a family unit. So I really like that. However, it is later shown that this group of people show up on the planet having found the letter in the bottle that Octavia had sent for Bellamy, and they end up showing up wanting Octavia and diyoza, and they end up pretty much capturing diyoza, who gets mad at Octavia, blaming her for everything, and they go to get Octavia as well, and Octavia tells Hope to hide and not come out and just stay there and wait for her and diyoza to come back, which I really like, because there was a scene when Hope was hallucinating in the last episode that is this exact moment. So I really liked how they filled that little bit in with how they a callback to that last episode. So I really did like it. And you got those two things happen at the same time, and then both of them are taken by this group of people who are later revealed to be called the Disciples. And you got the episode that ends with Hope watching them take both her pretty much surrogate mothers away from her and being left on Skyrim alone. So I really like that storyline. It was a very good, especially character building moment for Octavia. I really didn't really like Octavia last season, but this episode really built up my like for her again. So that was a very good there. Plus I liked diyoza, and the girl that played Hope was pretty decent and a pretty well done actor, at least in my opinion. Now, meanwhile, we got the current storyline going on regarding Echo, Gabriel, and Hope, who arrive at this same planet after have gone through the anomaly at the end of the previous episode. And you got the three of them on the planet, and Echo still doesn't really trust Hope, as you can imagine, and Hope ends up leading them to the same cabin that we saw in the flashbacks, and she's there looking for something. And I don't think they ever really revealed what she was looking for, or I don't know, maybe I missed something, but I don't feel like they ever really went over what she was there looking for. So I gotta take points off there, because to me, unless I missed it, I don't totally know what she was looking for. And it was never revealed. So I don't know. I gotta take off points there. However, you then got them going down underneath the cabin and finding the anomaly stone on this planet, and Gabriel thinks that he can use it to get them off this planet and on back to Sanctum, but Hope says that they're going to a different planet called Bardo, which she believes is where Bellamy is. And so Gabriel thinks that he might be able to try to find a way to get the stone to open so they can leave. However, while they're there, after they go back up to the main cabin floor, they find this other guy in the cabin, and he freaks out and he runs off. However, Hope goes after him, and the other two fall after her a little bit reluctant, but Hope says that they need him in order to survive and eventually get off the planet. So they go after him and end up finding him in this graveyard area with a bunch of dead bodies around. And from what I understand, Hope recognizes one of these dead bodies for some reason. I'm sure we'll find out later on, because I don't think this has anything else to do with Octavia or diyoza. But I found this very interesting that she knew this person, so I'm curious to see who it really is. But then they end up meeting up with this guy again, and he freaks out because he's just, from what Gabriel says, hallucinate, isolation madness. And they try to coerce him to come back with them, but he says he has to stay there. He can't let them leave early or whatever, something to that effect, and he runs off. In the midst of this, however, Gabriel notices a mind drive and finds it interesting, and realizes that they're actually on planet Beta, one of the Aegis 3 planets that they were doing research on. So he finds interest in that and thinks that maybe by using it he can find a way off the planet. So they go back, and they also find a black box that contains information from the crash of Aegis 3 and those I guess astronauts or researchers on that ship. And he goes back, and the three of them watch this video, and it's given from the point of view from Becca. And we learned some more information about this Aegis 3 and time dilation, everything like that. Now, this is one area where I also have to take off some points, because there's a lot of references to the old world that Gabriel grew up on, and it's just treated as if Hope and Echo understand this information. However, it just feels like there's a lot of holes there, because Echo is from Earth, but she wouldn't know all this information unless Bellamy informed her. And Hope wouldn't know it, as Octavia again was from the Ark. She possibly could know this information, but I doubt it. and maybe diyoza Hope had talked about it before because she was more recent to Earth like Gabriel. But both these two of those two characters, I feel like just one-on-one with Gabriel, but should have had more questions and asked more about it, because it just felt like they should have not really known what he was talking about, and it should have been touched on a little bit more there. But maybe that's just me. But then you got Echo, who goes outside later and ends up digging up something, and it is revealed to be the bottle in that Octavia had buried. I guess Hope buried it after the disciples left or something, and she digs it back up, and the two of them get into a fight because over both of them not trusting each other, and regarding everything between Octavia and Bellamy. And eventually they finally understand and come to a agreement and somewhat of a close friendship in a way, which that's another thing. I feel like it was a bit rushed, because I feel like they're now like friends, and it just felt too rushed, at least in my opinion. So to me, it just, I don't know, I don't feel like they should have made up so quickly, but at the same time I know they had to kind of do it for plot reasons. But I would have preferred that they would have made that play out a little bit longer throughout the next few episodes. However, they are interrupted as Gabriel believes he has found a way to get the code to enter into the anomaly and get off the planet. So they go in to try to help. However, as they're about to get the code for everything, that guy from earlier in the episode shows up and smashes the device the black box device that they had found earlier, rendering them stuck there for, as of right now, for however much longer they have to be on there. Now, overall, I did like this episode. I think that both stories were pretty good. There was just a little plot holes and things I didn't like within the Echo, Gabriel, and Hope storyline, so I got to take off points there. If I had to give this episode a grading overall, I'd probably give it maybe an 8 out of 10. I feel like some of the things were just a little bit rushed, and there should have been more questions from Echo and Hope, so I gotta take off points there. Overall, though, if I had to pick, I'd say the Octavia, diyoza, and Hope story was better, at least in my opinion. But I think that both stories are pretty good, and I'm very excited to see what goes on moving forward and what this episode set up for the future of the season. So yeah, guys, that's my review of the 100 season 7 episode 2, The Garden. As always, if you like this video, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up and share. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button down below and hit that bell icon. That would miss any more 100 related content from me moving forward. And you can go follow me on Instagram and Twitter, which are linked in the about section on my YouTube channel. As always, it's been Vision Hero Blind Entertainment, and I'll see you next time.